Hey, everybody. Happy Friday and welcome to One Trip, One Tip, One Trick, and One Thought, episode number 18. Well, thanks for joining me on this 18th episode of One Tip, One Trick, One Thought, where we talk about sales. We talk about some tips and some tricks for to making our life in sales and business ownership a little easier. And then we go into a little bit of a thought. And it should be something that challenges both maybe your business and your personal beliefs or thoughts or the way you do something. So the first thing we're going to start with is the tip, the sales tip. We call it WIFM. WIFM, WIFM. What's in it for me? When you are talking with your client, when you're talking with your potential client or customer, when you're talking with a referral partner or a team member or one of your employees, it is super important to come from the perspective of WIFM. What's in it for me from their perspective, right? If you want them to do something, if you are encouraging them to do something, why should they? And if you say, well, it's because it's their job, you're right. You know what? A lot of times, if it's one of your employees or one of your team members, you're absolutely right. Guess what, though? It doesn't usually cut the mustard. So, what's in it for them? How can you position it so they can see beyond a doubt why they should want, why it's in their best interest to do something? Same with your clients, right? What's in it for me? Why should I work with you? Why should I refer people to you? Why should I refer my customers and my clients to you? What's in it for me? And it doesn't have to be, a monetary thing. It doesn't have to be a referral fee or things people talk about. It could be if I'm a divorce attorney and I refer my client to this mortgage or this mortgage person or realtor, I know they're going to get perfectly taken care of. I'm going to get communicated with. It's something I can take off my plate, right? And give them great service and a great overall experience. So, what's in it for me? I want you guys to think about that on the other side of the table, right? When you're presenting to somebody, when you're talking with somebody, when you're coaching someone, when you're educating someone, show them what's in it for them. My trick for the day is 1.5 speed. I don't know if you guys listen to podcasts. I don't know if like on YouTube or Spotify or any of those things. But do you know that for a lot of those platforms, you can listen at 1.5 speed? Now, it's been scientifically proven most people can hear and understand and comprehend at like 2 or 3 speed, but we can only talk at quote unquote 1 speed. If you want to be a little bit more aggressive with how quickly you're getting things done, think about bumping up that speed to 1.5 or 2, right? It'll take a little bit before your mind gets used to it and your ears get used to it, but it's pretty impressive how quickly you can learn material and go through material once you tune yourself in to that 1.5 or that 2. So if you want to get more done, be more efficient, take a look at it. See if that's something that your platforms, you're listening to things on, can be done. Now, my thought for the day: do past sins disqualify you from future wins? Okay. Do past sins disqualify you from future wins? So many of us have had things happen, or we've done things, or we've fallen short on things, or we've made the wrong decisions, and we know it, right? And we acknowledge it. And we're like, wow, I really messed up there, or I didn't do this right, or I should have, all these different sins we have. Perhaps it was 20 years ago, perhaps it was yesterday. But a lot of times then that'll kick in our head and we'll say, well, I'm not a good person. I don't deserve these wins. I don't deserve to be successful. I didn't do this all perfectly the first time. I didn't go to college. I didn't do well in college. I didn't go to a trade school. I didn't do all these things. These are all these things in the past I didn't do, right? You might have even cheated and stolen and hurt people or whatever it might be. I know people who have done that in the past, and they're like, well, I I have this over my on my shoulders forever. You don't have to, right? Just because you did something in the past, if you can make amends or acknowledge it, or even if you can't do it to the person or to the situation that that was, right, that doesn't mean that you can't acknowledge it, take responsibility for it, even if it's just in your head, right? If it's just in your heart, taking that responsibility for and forgiving, and knowing that you know what, you do deserve some wins. You can be that person. You know, maybe you know who Danny Trejo is, right? For a lot of people, he's recognized as, like, From Dusk to Dawn. He was the large Mexican guy with the big tattoo on his chest. And he had been in prison, and he had been through all these things and in gangs and stuff. And when he got out, he said, I'm going to do different. I did some bad things when I was younger. I'm going to do different. I'm going to do better now. And literally went in the movies as a tough guy. And since then, he has actually not only become a successful movie star, but he's given back, and he's taken that money and that fame, and he's helped others, whether it was in prison or out of prison or single mothers, things like that. He has done a lot of good. You can as well. So your past sins do not prevent or disqualify you from future wins. So that's what I got today. One tip, one trick, one thought, episode 18. Thanks for joining me.